All right, good morning. Thought maybe today would be a good day to do a Monday story. I started Monday stories back in like 2006 or something, and over the years, some days I've done really good at weeks, doing a Monday story each week, and then some years I hit or miss a little bit, and I think most of my students like them. They miss them when I don't do them, and some students maybe don't like them as much. But so anyway, here's today's Monday story. This is a classic one. I've told many times. It's not my story exactly, but I'll end it with my story. So imagine Christmas Day, okay? Set the theme for the Christmas tree, presents underneath. Two little kids run downstairs. They're really excited about Christmas. Two brothers looking forward to open Christmas presents. And the first little brother opens up a baseball glove, and it is not the color he was hoping for. He really wanted a black baseball glove, and it was a brown one, so he kind of pushed it to the side. The next little boy opens up a small box, just a little small box, and inside that box is one single turd. And then the next little boy, he opens up a bigger box, and it was a baseball bat. And this one happened to be a wooden baseball bat, and he really wanted a metal baseball bat, aluminum one, because they're a little bit lighter. So he was a little disgusted, shoved it off to the side. And then the next little boy, the box is a little bit bigger now, and he's getting a little bit more excited. He opens it up, and inside there's several turds. And, he's just grinning ear to ear. And then the next little boy's looking at him like, really, and he opens up his third present. And this one, a box that he opens it up, and inside is a fire truck, a toy fire truck. And he's like, oh, man, he was hoping for a race car. So he was a little disappointed by the fire truck. And then now the next little boy has a box about this big to open up. And a lot heavier now. He goes to open it up, and inside is just filled with turds. And the first little boy says to the next little boy, the second little boy is just thrilled with this box of turds. And he says, hey, I don't really understand this. I got a baseball glove that I really wasn't happy with, but, it'll probably do the trick. And I got a baseball bat that wasn't quite what I wanted. And then I got, the wrong toy car. He's like, but I'm looking at you, and all I see is turds. And he's like, how can you be happier than me right now? And the little boy says, well, with all these pony turds, there must be a pony around here somewhere. So the little boy really wanted a pony for Christmas, and he kept opening up all these boxes of pony turds, and he really thinks that there's probably a pony somewhere. And so that story is called Look for the Pony. Like any hardship, look for something that can come good out of that hardship. And it's about being optimistic and, trying to look at the bright side of things. And I've changed that story to also incorporate a realist, so you can look at a realist as well. So you have your three personalities: optimistic person, pessimistic person, real negative, and then a realist. And a realist just looks at the situation exactly how it is. And anyway, so I want to apply that story to another life story that I've had happen to me personally. When I was in 10th grade, my family came home from a weekend vacation up north, and our house was burned down. And we did not know our house was burned down until we pulled in the driveway. And when we pulled in the driveway, it was just gone. Like, it was burned down to the ground. I mean, the loss was substantial. I mean, I got just 5 things out of that fire. And those 5 things I ended up throwing away anyway because they were junk. And, we lost some pets. We had some cats and some animals in there. My little brother and sister had lizards and hamsters and stuff. They all died. We had fish that died. It was a really hard time for me and for my whole family. My mother took it really hard, especially. But we brought in a temporary housing, like a trailer, and we set that up behind where the old house was, and then we started to plan out a new house. And at the time, being a 10th grader, I was in industrial arts classes and I was taking a drafting class, and so I just dug these out, man. They're super old. So this is like circa 1994, 95 or something. But these are the blueprints for the house. So my mother and I, she did a lot of the design work, of what she wanted. But I drew these things out on pencil and paper. CAD wasn't very popular back then, and so I drew those out. Pencil and paper, and we had them turned into blueprints, and we had them inspected and then approved. So we started building a new house, and we were underinsured, so we didn't have like a massive amount of money to build a really sweet house, but we were able to build a nice house. And these blueprints were the ones that were used to get all the communication done with the various builders. And there's a couple different prints here. There's like a basement print and lots of different ones. But so I got to do that. I learned so much, drawing these blueprints. And then it was time to build the house. And I knew very little of anything about construction, but I had taken some. I think I was enrolled in a building trades class in high school at the time, so I was learning. And we had one contract there. We hired someone to do the basement. Okay, we didn't touch the basement at all. But then we had a contractor come, and he was like part-time. He'd come on the weekends, and he'd show. He'd get myself and some of my friends, a game plan of what to do, and we built this house. It was really crazy. So we worked super hard on it. We had some other friends help us too, and some family help. But we built this house from almost the ground up, and it took hours and hours. I mean, I spent hundreds and hundreds of hours on this house, and it was the biggest project I had ever worked on. Up to that point, and I learned so many things about building a house, and then the house started to get done. We hired out some of the drywall and various things we hired out. So we didn't do everything. Obviously, we didn't do all the electrical, the different things, but we did a lot. Built some decks on there, and so then it came to a time where we needed stuff for the inside of the house. So then I was like, well, I was really into finished carpentry and woodworking. So I built some kitchen cabinets for the house. And then I built some, I didn't do the countertop at the time. I was a little intimidated by that. And I built a dining room table and like a china cabinet for my mother. And I'll post those at the end of this video if I can find them, some pictures of that. But I did all that before I graduated from high school. So, that was all things that I was able to work on before, all those things were like pretty much my before my senior year maybe, or right at my senior, I don't quite remember. And then that actually led into teaching, because the more of these things I built, the more I was in the shop, and I was watching some of the younger students struggle with some of their projects, and that is essentially how I became a teacher. So, you have a really terrible event in my history where my house burned down, and something you never really get over that. I still have nightmares sometimes. I'm a little paranoid about things being left on. I unplug a lot of things. When I leave for a vacation, I really have a hard time like enjoying the vacation sometimes, because I have that terrible memory of coming back to not having a house. So, but this was a terrible event that I feel like I was able to find the pony of this event, and some really good things came out of this event that changed my life forever. And I would have probably never been a teacher. I don't know if I would have. I was always into hands-on things, so I still might have done something in the trades, but it really did. This one event in my life really shaped who I am today, and I think it could have went the other way for me. I think if I would have let that, just let that event destroy me, I think I could have I could have went down another road that would have been really bad. And instead I was able to go down a road, and I had other influencers, people helped me through this. Like my grandpa helped me a lot, and had some teachers help me and stuff like that. So, there was it wasn't just me. I didn't do this alone. But I really happy of the way that whole situation worked out. So that's the Monday story. And the title of that was Look for the Pony. So in every terrible situation, sometimes there's something good that can come out of that situation. And sometimes you have to look a little bit, and you might not see it right away. Sometimes it takes a while to see that.